In this video, we're going to show you how to install the harmonic balancer on your Honda Ridgeline located behind the passenger side wheel well. Using a 22mm socket, you want to go loosen and remove your lug nuts. Now that you have your lug nuts removed, grab that wheel, remove it, and set it aside. Now that we have the front wheel off, you want to go ahead and access these plastic covers here. It's going to be a series of these plastic retainer buttons around. We need to remove a few of these here for the front section, but we really have to remove this portion right here, which goes underneath the whole front of the vehicle. You're going to do so using your trim tool. Go ahead and pop out these buttons. It's going to be a two-piece, the center and then the base. Sometimes these buttons will break. They're plastic and fragile, so be prepared in case you do break some of these. You want to go ahead and source some replacements. So you're just going to continue this process to go ahead and drop this center section and loosen the front portion. So we went ahead and removed a few of these plastic buttons here, and our splash shield will drop down. This is going to allow us to get to our harmonic balancer, depending if you have a lift or if you're using jack stands. It's going to be easy for you just to remove this and get it out of the way if you're using ramps or something like that in your driveway. Now we have our harmonic balancer located right here. This is on the front side of our engine, and in the center is a 19mm bolt. Now if you notice there's a hex inside here, this is going to be a specific Honda tool. Pops on in there. We have our breaker bar attached to it, and what this does is that's going to help us secure this so it doesn't start rotating on us. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure on this here and then put our gun on it. So in our case here, our center bolt is a little stuck, so if you have a heat inductor, we're going to go ahead and use that to try and help us loosening this. So right here we have our bar on here. It goes up to a 14mm socket onto our belt tensioner. Now you probably noticed that our bolt was still in here. We had just kind of threaded that back in by hand loose. Now we're going to use that 14mm socket and our belt tensioner bar, and we're going to go lefty-loosey. We're going to push on this, and that tensioner should move enough to slide that belt off. I'm just going to leave my socket up there for now because we're going to be putting that belt back on later. We're just going to spin that out. Go ahead and set that bolt aside. Now that we have our belt off and just kind of tucked to the side, go ahead and grab that harmonic balancer and just give it that little wiggle. Now this is keyed, so you can notice there's a little key right here. You want to make sure that that stays there. If it comes off with a harmonic balancer, simply just take it, slide it right back into place there. Take your new harmonic balancer, line up the keyway. Slide that into place. Now that we have our harmonic balancer in place here, what we did was we put some engine oil on the threads and some oil between the washer and the bolt head itself. Go ahead and thread that in. Once this is bottomed out, we want to go ahead and torque this down to 47 foot-pounds. Once it's at 47 foot-pounds, you now need to turn an additional 60 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark our socket, and it's going to be in line with this point. And we're going to tighten this until it comes down to the next point here. And there we are. At this point here, we can install our belt. Now as we're putting our belt on here, you want to go ahead and follow along with the diagram on the screen. You want to make sure you get your belt on all of the ribs, on all of your pulleys. So you want to check, make sure that the belt is routed properly. And then once it's on, go ahead and remove your tool. And go ahead and install the buttons for your covers here. We're going to put our retainer in this one up top because one button holds two panels. Pop that in. Once you have that secured, go ahead and install the rest of your plastic buttons all the way around. Once you have all your plastic buttons installed, go ahead and install your wheel and you're all set. Okay, you can grab that wheel. Line that up. Let's go ahead and get our lug nuts all started by hand. Once these are all started, I'm going to go ahead and snug them all down. Torque down your lug nuts to 94 foot-pounds. When doing this, you want to do this in a crisscross or star pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.